We're doing rolling coverage on the online serial predator known as John Douglas Griffin. Now, we've been reporting on this for quite some time, and he's been harassing myself and my family and a number of others for an extended period of time. Now, we have evidence to support all of this. So before anyone says that, oh, you know, you've got to be careful with, you have to say allegedly with everything, well, we don't, because we have the evidence to back it up. And we are part of the reason that he has criminal charges pending. So we're working on this, and Miss Sarah, you've got something quick to add to this?
Yeah, just something quick to add. I mean, you know, this thing is like a darn novel now. I mean, police have it, and anyone that wants to kind of conflict the message, honest to goodness, you really should just imagine like 3 inches thick.
Yeah, we've got a lot to get through in this. We're only dedicating one segment because if I dedicated a whole show to this, I'd have to take up half the day. But we're going to dedicate one segment, and we promoted earlier in the week that we were going to play you evidence of Mr. Griffin. Now, for those that don't know, he also claims to be a media personality. He's actually claiming that on his website currently as we speak, and runs a radio show on an online radio station himself. We won't name it because why would we give him extra promotion for that train wreck? But he does this show, and he likes to promote that he's got the big news stories, and and he's got factual information, and of course it's all lies. But one of the things he promoted big time was this story about that he was going to interview a young man, a young boy actually, about essays. Now,
A young boy
of 12 years old. And if you're wondering how we know he's 12 years old, have a listen to this.
So how old are you?
I'm 12.
So you're 12, and by the way, your parents know that you're on my show.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Across the room.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's proof that we know that he's 12 years old. It was announced on the show. And he goes on to interview this young kid who just doesn't have any idea, really. I don't think he has any real idea while he's there. Now, we're not going to play you the entire interview because I wouldn't put my listeners through that. But we will play this important sample because this is an important bit. John is all about encouraging people for acts of violence, and we'll talk about that more on tomorrow's show with some other references we've got. But this is from his show last Friday, and he was asking his little interviewee, this 12-year-old boy whose parents were in the room, about what he would like to do to me, the serial pest.
It sounds very simple. It sounds very similar, not simple, but it sounds very similar to like a serial pest we have at this radio station. Now, when you get older, right, if you ever worked at a radio station, how would you deal with the serial pest?
I don't know. I don't throw him down a flight of stairs.
Have you seen the video on the Facebook?
Yes.
So if anybody's wondering, that we're talking about the serial pest who's going to court soon, and he's that mentally retarded he thinks everything's real. But go check out the video on Facebook and you'll see him flying down the stairs. Did you like that video?
Yeah.
And obviously he's a racist, so we're hoping that all the Aboriginal communities come together down there in Brisbane and meet him at the courthouse. But so what did you like the most about the video?
Well, first of all, because you can't really see much, but you can hear him get hit by a brick and fall down the stairs. That's my favourite part.
The clunk 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 on surround sound.
Yeah.
Okay, now that shows you just how pathetic Mr. Griffin is to encourage a young boy to say stuff like that on the radio. And apparently his parents were in the room. Now, that's
unbelievable.
That audio has already been sent to Queensland Police. It will also be sent to the Department of Child Safety, the complete audio, in fact, because we have all of that audio. But if you think that's bad, if you think John Douglas Griffin exploiting children is bad enough, listen to what he says about women. This is sourced thanks to our affiliates, our friends over at WA Radio Network.
We're live here outside broadcast, unlike the other idiots who cut my radio station and carry on. But don't forget, they all do their show in a bedroom. They haven't got a studio. They would not even know what a studio looks like. They do their show in their silly little bedroom while their missus sits there outside, probably fingering themselves. Who knows what they do? And while the other moron sits in the bedroom, probably pulling himself over pretending to be on radio.
Actually, I got that wrong. That one we didn't get from WA Radio Network, but that's one taken from his show on Tuesday, as a matter of fact, right near the start of his little radio show that he claims to get 80 to 90,000 listeners a month on, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
This guy makes Alan Jones look responsible.
probably all from the penitentiaries, dotted around the country.
At best. But if that wasn't bad enough, the reference to fingering and women fingering themselves, like, this is live radio, ladies and gentlemen. I told you there was going to be language, and I wasn't joking. This is a sample we got courtesy of WA Radio Network. This is John talking in a private message to his now former producer.
We can't use Domino's because I told my local Domino's one night when they took too long. I said, where's the manager? And they're like, oh, she's in the toilet. And I said, I hope she's not fucking in the toilet, wiping her hand with her vagina and making my pizza. So, no, we can't use Domino's.
And apologies to Domino's Pizza, because we do love them here at the VFE Network. We are a regular customer of our local Domino's. Yes. But this is the sort of man we are talking about, ladies and gentlemen. And we spoke about this. That audio was also played on WA Radio Network on Monday as part of the jury, which I was a guest on. And when and Reese, the host, actually asked their other guest, his other guest, Tanya Roy, who you would have heard an interview with her if you were listening to my show last week. The audio is up on Facebook, YouTube, and you can catch up on our Mixcloud platform as well. This is what Tanya had to say when Reese asked her what she thought of that particular piece of audio.
Oh, absolutely disgusted. Reese, I had a conversation with John about women on the Gold Coast, and I was absolutely disgusted. He turned around and told me that he can smell women when they menstruate.
And that's
what
disgusting.
I heard in that audio does not surprise me. And I'd like to say also, Reese, that I witnessed firsthand how he used to speak to you, how he used to harass you. Numerous times within an hour you would be fired, and then 5 minutes later he would call you back and demand that you go and do something for him. He treated you like you were his slave that was on 24-hour call.
Absolutely. And the moment that I turned around and I resigned from his station, and I resigned and moved myself away from him, the moment I did that, he would jump on the bandwagon and abuse me, calling me names. He would call me the most thing. I have autism, and he would actually exploit my autism to everybody. He would say to me, oh, you've got to use your autism because you get more listeners. You get more people listening to you because people will feel sorry for you. Now, I'm not a person that would use a disability towards anybody. I don't use my disability to gain fame. I don't use it's there, I've got it, and I move on.
Yes, and many thanks to Reese and the team over at WA Radio Network for graciously allowing us to use that audio as well. I mean, honestly, when you look at all the stuff, and we're only hitting the tip of the iceberg here today, ladies and gentlemen. There's plenty more to come, and you'll be hearing about this for some time yet. John Douglas Griffin goes to court, Ipswich Magistrates Court. He is expected to appear next Monday, the 17th of January, and I have no doubt that there'll be a lot of interest in this story. I have heard on the grapevine that a few other media outlets are looking at what's happening. Miss Sarah?
It's just repulsive. I mean, the references to females, I mean, how does his own mother feel about this? It's grotesque. And then all the references he makes continuously about people with disability, disadvantage. This person really needs to have their head checked.
Yeah, I've lost count. If I had $1 for every time this man has called me a retard, a spazzo,
but he does it.
A
He
mental
does it
case
relentlessly to anyone who basically doesn't agree with his opinion in something.
Absolutely.
And usually it's about his grandiose personality complex, which I don't have time for. I really don't.
We certainly don't, and we're running out of time here. It's 25 after 1. We've spent enough time on this segment. We will be continuing our coverage on this story in days to come, no doubt, and no doubt we will get a response from Mr. Griffin. In fact,
just ignore him, folks. Just totally avoid this cretin.
And if you've had dealings with him, then get in contact with us, VFE Network.
Or police.
Yeah, get in contact with police and get in contact with us as well. VFEnetwork.com. Hit the contact tab and send us an email or text or call if you're in Australia.
Don't put up with it.
0406 193 226.
Greg V's Lunchtime Live.
I wouldn't trust any of you to sit the right way on the lavatory.
On VFE Variety.